What's up guys, Anthony Vapes. Today here with my review of the Kaos Erebus 25mm RTA. It also does come in a 30mm version as well. I don't have that one though. I don't know why, I just don't. Nonetheless, disclaimer wise on this, there will be no disclaimer. I purchased it myself. I actually paid about like $8 for this. It was stupidly cheap, and I'll go over more of that later in the video. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get down to the up close. I'll show you how to build it, how to wick it, and I'll be back here with my pros, cons, and whether I recommend it or not. All right, let's take an up close look at the Kaos Erebus 25. Go over the box, and the box is massive, huge box. Nothing really on it though. Inside the box, you have your tank. You have a different top cap here. So here's the original one, which is a metal one. And this one is like a some sort of plastic. Personally, I prefer the metal one. I'm not a huge fan of plastic tops. But to be fair, the threading on the inside of this is metal, so it'll survive. But it's all one molded piece, so there's no drip tip options. This is one thick, solid piece of metal though. And then of course you have all your spare goodies, O-rings, some screwdrivers, some coils. So normal stuff, which I never use coils. I mean, I have boxes and boxes of RTAs, and I just never use the coils that come with them. Deck itself is your standard velocity deck. So you got your airflows coming in right here. It's going to come right under the coils. You got pretty big post holes. It is Phillips, unfortunately, so not my favorite. But very basic, looks very similar to a lot of atomizers, like the Griffin 25 and the VCMT 25. But it is made from some pretty thick metal and thick, heavy parts, more so than a lot of atomizers. So let's show you how to slap a build in real quick, which is extremely simple, as we all know how to do these velocity decks. I've made videos of them a million times, but nonetheless, here we go. Take a coil, slap it in. You got your top lead in a top hole, bottom lead in a bottom hole. And then once you do that, you just tighten up your screws. Same on this side. Then you just adjust your coil, make sure it looks nice and straight, not touching anything. That's all. We're good to go. That's the coil. Alright, so the coil's all in. I already did the dry burn, got that done, all the hot spots out. I want to take a quick look here. I'm going to show you something. As you see here, there is no juice flow. It has this one little ring here. So that's basically your juice flow. You can choose to have it like that, or you can choose to have it like that, fully open. So I'm going to show you what I do is basically use this as a way to keep my cotton from being out too much. So I'll actually put it here, but then I'll switch it to fully open. But you can use it either way. So that's basically your juice flow, but you can't change it once you do it. Got a 0.13 build on it. Let's wick her up. Do the coil. Pull it back and forth, make sure it's not too tight, not too loose. This is going to go right basically to the bottom of the deck there. So right about that spot. That looks good. Same on the other side. And for this one, I don't do any fancy tricks or angles. Doesn't really need it. It has juice flow, doesn't have a juice flow control, so I would rather not try to make it more efficient, because I don't want to get leaks. It's more than efficient enough by itself. Same thing here. All right, now that we got that covered, what we're gonna do is fluff up the cotton a little bit. Actually take a little bit more off of this side here. Okay, fluff up the cotton. It's actually pretty damn fluffy already. Now to make it easier to deal with, we're gonna put a little bit of juice on it. Make sure I'm on camera, yeah. So I have the holes fully open. And what I'm gonna do is tuck the cotton in to these holes here. I can use this to keep it in place actually. So I'm going to use that to give me an option to tuck it in. And mind you, I think the design of the tank, at least the way they designed it, was probably to leave it like that. So that it's not fully open, but for me it works just fine fully open. Alright, so now that we have all our leads tucked in there, we can go ahead and put the top cap back on. And the top cap's simple, it just screws into place. And then I'm going to slide so it's fully open, and do it the rest of the way. Alright, so we have our cotton fully open in there. So I have those out of the way. And like I said, that acts as a juice flow where you can basically close it off a little bit more if you wanted to, but no reason at all to close it off more. Oh. Sorry, not that stupid. The top cap part comes off. It's only half stupid. You have to forgive me, it is a little bit late at night, and I'm pretty tired. Alright, last part, top part. Actually, because I'm impatient, and you could totally do this for the most part, I'm going to actually start filling it up, because these O-rings are actually really good, and it's going to allow me to get away with doing this. Obviously I can't fill it up all the way, because it will leak in the chamber, but I can speed myself up a little bit. Throw the top cap on. And I would have liked to have a little bit of a bigger fill hole, but it's more than big enough, as you can see. And last but not least, bam. Now this is a pretty tall tank. I'll do some quick measurements on it. 63 almost. And it should be a 25 millimeter. It's actually almost a 26 millimeter. So it's big. Let's see if I can get it, yeah. Alright, so now we're back here with my pros, cons, and whether I recommend it. Let's start off with the pros as usual. First pro is going to be flavor. This thing has way above average flavor. Way above average. Not going to say it's the best, but I mean it's possibly good enough to be in my next top 5 when I do it. Possibly. I don't know if it's going to be in my top 5 RTAs, but flavor-wise, it is well above average. Well above average. You could also chuck some serious clouds if you wanted to. It has a ton of airflow. and it wicks very efficiently. So 3 pros right there. If you're into clouds, I don't know where to put it. You know what? In the comments, let me know where I should classify clouds. Should I put it in the pros? Should I put it in the cons? Do we want clouds? Do we not want clouds? I don't care. I'm a flavor guy, but I'm not sure where to ever put it. To be perfectly honest. Next one is going to be really easy to wick. Super easy to wick. There's no little holes to squeeze stuff in or anything like that. Really easy to wick, and it wicks very efficiently. You can chain vape the hell out of this. Next one's going to be the capacity. It has a huge capacity. It's a huge tank. It's a tall tank, and it holds a lot of juice. Next one's going to be the quality. The build quality of this is excellent. Not only is the threading excellent, just the solid pieces of it. Like each piece of this is a solid chunk of metal. It is heavy. You know, it is not a thin piece of metal like a lot of atomizers. It feels like it should cost a lot of money. Like basically the weight and heft of this is pretty close to that of like the Modfather, which is a $70 RTA that I have. I mean, I'm very impressed with just the heft and the build quality of it. Next one's going to be the fill holes. It has nice big fill holes on it. So, I mean, fill hole, one hole, but it's nice and big, and you can easily, you know, use a unicorn like I showed up close for it. Next one's going to be, there's no leaks. As long as you wick it correctly like I did and put enough cotton in there, it's not going to leak on you. And for my last pro, I'm going to talk about what I touched on in the beginning on the price of it. The reason I'm throwing this review out here now is vaporworld.biz is where I got it from. And they carry these, and I think they're on clearance there for about like 10 bucks right now. 10 to 12 bucks, something like that. Stupidly cheap. The thing is, with their clearance section, they often have sales to give you even better prices. And 4th of July is coming up in about a week. So they might do like a 20, 25, 30, 35, 50% off sale on their clearance section, which would make this tank cost like 4 or 5 bucks, which might even be what I paid for it. I don't remember. But in other words, stupidly cheap. Like you can nab a couple of these tanks for dirt cheap. So that's a big reason why I'm doing this review right now. I'm hoping they still have them in stock. They did last time I checked. So definitely check out the sale for them, because like I said, you can get these for under 10 bucks. That's going to be pretty impressive. And their shipping kind of expensive though. It is $8 for shipping because they require a signature. So they don't check your IDs or anything like that. So the shipping's a little expensive, but even at 8 bucks, if you can nab this for like 4, that's $12. If you can get this under, you know, $15, it's pretty much a must buy. Spoiler alert. So let's go over the cons. First con's going to be there's no drip tip options. You just have the built-in cap. There's no separate drip tip. It's all one piece. Next one's going to be there's no juice flow control. So this does not have any juice flow control on it. It doesn't really need it, but I'm going to put it in the cons because I know a lot of people like to have it. I like to have it personally. Next one is condensation. This does get a lot of condensation. So, I mean, all bottom airflow RTAs give you condensation. This one's probably higher than average condensation. Last one's going to be the post screws. They do use Phillips screws, and they're not the greatest screws. They're not the worst, but they're not the greatest. I would have liked to have better quality hex screws, but they're still decent enough. So with that said, do I recommend it or not? I don't like to do hard yeses or no's. This one leans heavily towards a yes. Mind you, if it was a $30 RTA, I'd probably be a little more iffy about it. But if you can nab one of these for 20 bucks or less, it's absolutely worth having in your collection. Just for the quality of it, just for the fact that it works, it's simple. There's no juice flow control, so you don't have to worry about anything press fit or any leaks like that. It's not going to happen. Like this should not ever leak on you. There's no parts to fail on it. And it's just the big, hefty quality parts on it. So that's my take. So as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Give me a like and subscribe. I'll put a little bubble somewhere on this side as well as another video. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all that other good stuff. This is Anthony Vapes as always, keeping it honest. Hopefully you guys can say you're doing the same, and I'll catch you on my next review.